even though they can't see me, I gotta.
No, they can see you from this.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, Uriah, first off, I imagine it's not easy. The guy who's had to spoil the last night of Anderson Silva. Can you just talk about separating all that and just being able to go out there and do your job to win the fight?
What? Say it again. What?
How do you separate all of the talk of, spoiling the last night of Anderson and just go out there and do your job to win?
By not listening to the media.
You've had a bunch of fights scrapped amidst the pandemic. Can you describe the relief to finally be about to go back out there?
I didn't mind the pandemic too much. I went into isolation, hang out at my gym. Didn't hang out with a lot of people. I think it was a blessing in disguise.
Can you just talk about a little bit, just making the readjustment? You were so close to getting the fight with Romero. You were on the last, pretty much the last stretch to fight Jacare in May. Just having to start another camp each time.
This is so fucking weird, man. What the fuck? I can't do this. Can I look at the screen or something? Or who the fuck am I talking to? This is so weird.
On the screen, it just shows you.
What
Yeah,
the
you can't
fuck?
really
This
see
is so
them.
fucking weird. All right. What's the question?
Hello,
Repeat the
can,
question. Yeah, repeat the question, please.
just what was it like having to restart so many camps this year with Jacare and Romero? Now this one.
Um, it was fine, man. I went into camp. I've been training since last year November. So right before the pandemic got out of hand, I was in Dallas, Airbnb, staying already, just staying ready. And we got the call for our first fight. We went into camp. Yeah, it was devastating, but as a martial artist, our job is to stay ready, stay prepared. So that's it. You just stay ready. That's the whole key factor.
Thank you.
So weird.
We will take our next set of questions from Danny Segura with MMA Junkie.
Obviously, this is a very big fight, but you fought some of the biggest names at 185 pounds before. How would you grade this fight? Do you think this is the biggest fight of your career with Anderson Silva?
Yeah, it's one of the biggest fights. Anderson Silva is a legend, so I'm just excited to go out there and go up against the guy that I watched growing up. To me, I made it. That's how you gotta look at it.
For sure. And right now, Adesanya doesn't really have a clear next title challenger. You're obviously on a nice two-fight win streak. Do you think an impressive showing against Anderson Silva could put you in that mix?
Yeah, and Adesanya is picking his fight, man. He sees he sees the hole in all these guys, and he's already picking Cannonier. He's looking for easy fights. Yeah, I said it. So I know why he's picking certain fights, but I'm dynamic, and especially with the gym that I'm at right now, I'm focused, laser focused. So it's a matter of time. I'm just gonna play the politic card and just whoever the UFC needs me to beat, and or whoever the UFC thinks can beat me, and get to the top.
Yeah. In your opinion, I guess what do you think other adversaries that had fought Adesanya are missing to beat him? What's the key to dethrone the champ?
I'm not gonna tell you that.
Okay. And you just mentioned that you saw Anderson Silva as you were coming up. If you could describe him on one word, what would it be and why?
Uh, he's just fluent, man. The way he moves, the way he fights, he's in the moment. And a lot of people don't really understand that dynamic. That's why he says he doesn't care about the whole fighting thing. It's not about fighting. People can't understand that concept because it's the moment when you're in there letting go. It's like training, you have to let go. But the problem with that is, when you have refs that don't know their job right or judges who aren't educated properly, it takes a risk factor in there and then you're more worried. So you can't really let go. But you can just go out there and fight someone. It's kind of hard to explain, but I know exactly what he's talking about in the martial arts world because that's all you have in that moment. Those 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, that's all you really have to really express yourself. So I get where he's coming from.
All right, thank you, Ryan. Best of luck on Saturday.
Maybe.
We will take our next questions from Bruno Carvalho with UOL.
Hi, Uriah. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
I'm good too. Uriah, what means to you fight against Anderson Silva and probably his last fight?
Uh, it's a fight, man. It's work. You just show up to work and you do your job and you get out. That's it. I mean, obviously he's a legend and I respect him, but it's a fight. We all look at him in awe and all that, but it's a fight. What else do you want me to say? It's a fight. It's like you show up for work. It's work, right? And you do your job and you get out. That's it. Fight.
Okay, and both of you has a fight style very similar. So, do you prepare something different to fight against him?
Well, I'm not gonna tell you that, but what kind of question are these, man? You just have fun, man. Just watch what happens on Saturday.
Okay, thanks.
And the last two guys I had that gave interview were awesome. Yeah.
We'll take the next questions from James Conlon with RCB Radio Sport Ireland. James, please go ahead. Okay, we will take our next questions from Sumik Dada with Sports Kita.
James,
Hey Uriah. Hey Uriah, can you hear me? So first of all, welcome back and hope you're doing well.
Thank you.
And so Israel Adesanya has been very vocal about you. He said that if you stick to your basics for this fight, you'll beat Anderson Silva. And you a couple of times in the lead up to his fight against Paulo Costa. So what is your response to all that comments from the champ?
Okay. Thanks for the advice, bro.
Yeah, fair enough. So obviously this is a big fight for you, given this is Anderson Silva's last fight. If you see yourself, where do you see yourself with the win, and what would be your goals be from there on?
Where do I see myself with the win, and what would be my goals from there on?
Yes, with the win over Silva this week.
Leverage. Hopefully, listen, I want the champ. That's it. I just get the sport. I see where it's going. I want the champ. Give me the champ. That's it.
Last question from me. Your coach said that you're ready to play the villain in Anderson Silva's retirement fight. What are your predictions for this fight, and how do you plan on spoiling his retirement?
You said play the villain?
Yeah, your coach mentioned that.
Play the villain? I don't know, take him out. I mean, my game plan is to win. Just go out there and win, man. That's it. That's it.
Well, thank you so much, and good luck for the fight, sir.
Thank you. Comes up with these questions?
We will take our next questions from Cote Cruz with the 4 to Win podcast. Oh, sorry, he dropped out. We will take our next questions from Pablo Santamaria with Noti MMA Ecuador.
Ecuador.
Hey, Uriah, can you hear me?
Arriba la raza. Oh, that's Mexico. What's up, man?
Okay, the first thing I want to ask you is if at some point did you feel frustrated when Jacarea and Joel withdraw from the fights?
I couldn't feel frustrated for Jacare because COVID happened, but I wished him well. Yoel, on the other hand, I kind of knew. I have a really 99.9% feeling that it was because John Jones was leaving and they had the same manager, and he wanted to get out of the fight with me by coming up with some BS shit about his eye. And 205 for him might be a lot easy. We seen him struggle to make 85. So that was his way out. They have the same manager. It was like, all right, man, Jones allowed to lose and leave the division in 2 months. Why don't you just get out of it this way? You don't have to hurt your career. That's what I think. That was more frustrating than Jacare. Jacare happened. It sucked. I wished him well. But I think you all just, yeah.
I get it. Do you face any difficulties training in under these COVID situations? It was hard finding some training partners without or do you have all the under control in your
I got it under
gym?
control. I got it control.
Okay, so
You want me to elaborate on
I
that?
mean,
Or you want me to
Joel
elaborate?
is no, okay. It was okay. Joel was a ranked fighter, and when they offer you Anderson Silva, you doped or you said yes without a doubt.
You said doved?
Dope about your rival because you obviously was going to face Joel Romero, who is a ranked fighter, and
Oh,
Anderson
okay.
is not on the rank.
So you're saying if it made sense to take
Uh-huh.
Anderson, well, because he's not ranked. Both guys have a name. Both guys have a reputation. Personally, for me, Anderson has been someone I've idolized for years. So to me, that's a trophy fight. It's a championship fight to me in my mind. I personally felt I made it. It could have went great for me. It can go great for me either way. I mean, if we're going to talk politics, a win over Yoel will put me in a title contingency. A win over Anderson Silva would, I don't know, reclaim something, puts me in with the top five maybe. So either way, it's beneficial.
Okay, I get it. Thank you very much, Uriah, and good luck on your fight.
Thank you.
And we will take our last set of questions from Ezekiel Berganzi with Somos MMA.
Hey Uriah, how are you?
Hey, what's up, man? A lot
Oh,
of Spanish and Brazilians.
how do you feel knowing that this fight could put you on the UFC spotlight if you got a very outstanding finish against Anderson Silva, who is probably in his last fight on his career in the UFC?
How would I feel if a win over Anderson would put me on the spotlight with the UFC?
Yes, if you got an outstanding finish against Anderson Silva, do you think that the UFC could put you on a spotlight in the middleweight division?
That's a funny question. Um, well, listen, I'm not going to sit here and say the UFC plays favoritism. The way the UFC works, if you do a good job, if you go out there and you talk some shit, if you beat motherfuckers' ass fashionably, you're somebody. I'm not gonna leave it up to the UFC to do that. You know, I'm gonna go out there and do what I'm supposed to do, and whatever happens, happens. I know my goals. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm not waiting for them to make a decision for me. I'm gonna use the opportunity that I have, which is to go up against my opponent. And my goal, the same way his goal is to win, is to win. That's it. And after that, you know, I'm looking to gain the top five. Whoever's in the top five, because my ultimate goal right now is to fight the champ. I just want the champ. That's it.
And do you think that if you beat Anderson, you need a one more fight to get a title shot against Israel Adesanya? Because everybody thought that Charles Cannonier was going to get the title shot, but he was defeated by Robert Whittaker. And everybody's talking about a rematch between Adesanya and Whittaker. So do you think that maybe you can have a title eliminator fight for getting a shot?
With the way the UFC works, bro, God fucking knows what's gonna happen. All I gotta say is I'm just gonna stay ready. A win over Anderson is always gonna be a good thing. Wherever it puts me, if someone gets injured, I'll be ready. If they say, hey, you need to fight this person again, I'll still be ready. If it makes sense, I'll do it. If it doesn't, of course, I'm going to try to fight it. But again, the goal remains the same, is to become world champion.
And do you think that in MMA, entertainment is way more important than sports? And what do you think about that?
Ooh. I think that entertainment draws a big audience. There's a good and bad with it. It's good because it sells the fight. You go back in time and you look at a guy like Muhammad Ali, of how he sells the fight, how he's trash talking, all that stuff. You want to see him. He's entertaining, he's funny, and then he goes out there and performs his skill set, whether it's Conor McGregor or what's that Colby dude. And yeah, it brings other people in. It brings fans, like actors, or broaden the horizon of it. The thing I don't like with that is just it misconstrues a lot of things, where a lot of people don't understand the dynamics of certain fighters where it becomes picky and choosy. It's like saying the prelims. No one fucking watches the prelims. It's like, who watches the prelims unless you know somebody on the prelims? So it generates favoritism. So there's a balance with it. The entertainment is good, but the problem that I have with the media and entertainment system is that, no one cares anymore. It's just, let's just get the story out. We don't care who it hurts. It's almost like if somebody from my team or me get tested positive for COVID, it's like, boom, let's just fucking it's like no one gives a fuck anymore. And that's why I have a hard time with the media. I personally, genuinely hate, and hate is a powerful word, media. So I'm picky and choosy with that. But hey, I can't control it. I'm just gonna do my job the best that I can. But yeah, that's it.